brought us back into the bed once again, Abba Yahweh. Down on humble knees, Abba Yahweh. How we will give you total this day, Abba Yahweh. We lift up our voices unto you as the nations sing, Abba Yahweh. And the instruments be played unto you, Abba Yahweh. Because it's all about you, Abba Yahweh. On your Sabbath tone, Abba Yahweh. I will praise you, Abba Yahweh. And lift up our great King, Abba Yahweh. Knowing what you have done for us, Abba Yahweh. Knowing there are none like this great King that we serve, Abba Yahweh. So the nation lift up their voice unto you, Abba Yahweh. And the voices touch the high Shemayim, Abba Yahweh. And the Melachim rejoice, Abba Yahweh. Because all we have to give unto you, Abba Yahweh, all thy praises unto you, Abba Yahweh. For everything belongs unto you, Abba Yahweh. Because, Abba Yahweh, you made it, Abba Yahweh. So this breath that you gave us one day, Abba Yahweh, we will give it back unto you, Abba Yahweh. And I, hallelujah, Abba Yahweh. And the songs that be sung unto you, Abba Yahweh. All we told you, Abba Yahweh, for your precious son, YHWH, Abba Yahweh. And that precious stone that we shed it, Abba Yahweh. Have your way, Abba Yahweh, in the midst of this house, Abba Yahweh. Or as your Malak speak, Abba Yahweh. Touch his lips today, Abba Yahweh. We give up understanding, Abba Yahweh. The wisdom of the knowledge, Abba Yahweh. Good deep will your word this day, Abba Yahweh. To strengthen your nation to go on, Abba Yahweh. To endure, Abba Yahweh. Oh, precious Abba Yahweh. We just told you, Abba Yahweh, that you will have us so much, Abba Yahweh. Oh, that you continue, Abba Yahweh, to show us your love kindness toward us, Abba Yahweh. Oh, we rebuke you, Abba Yahweh. Oh, Torah, Yahweh. Oh, there's nothing that we can do without you, Abba Yahweh. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Let us stand to our feet, nation. Go to the top of the mountain of Yahweh and YHWH. Torah, Yahweh, hallelujah, Yahweh. For this is yet another Yom YisraYah'ale. that Yahweh, He has baruch us to enter into His bed. We have brought our offerings of Torah and praise. So let us offer it unto Yahweh by fire. Hallelujah. For He has told YisraYah'ale, because of His hesed, we are not consumed. So let us praise our Abba this day. Hallelujah. Let everything that has breath praise Yahweh and make a joyful noise to our Abba. Come on, YisraYah'ale. Let everything that has breath praise Yahweh. Let everything that has breath praise Yahweh. Let everything that has breath praise Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. walk in truth. In the light. Show me your way. Show us your way. Lift the voice, cry, the cry of
power of Yah, the power of his persona, his person, his personality in Yeshua HaMashiach. I don't back down on that statement, and I will not alter or change one scintilla of that statement to appease and satisfy anyone. We stand before his council, the SHABBAT, that there may be a cleansing, a purging, a washing away of everything that has defiled us, that from this day you don't return back to the vomit of that filthy table you're eating off of, and that's your damnable twisted heart. I'm going to teach, all right? Don't worry about that. So our friends, we are God, we greet you all and pray Yah's blessings upon YisraYah'ale, his BIRTHRIGHT. Let he strengthen us, or as we strengthen the things that remain. We must strengthen that. I want to teach again on Esau. And I must move on from this for a moment, all right? I want to teach on the birthright of Esau, and also the truth of that birthright. How that it was acquired by YHWH. Why did he do it? And who strengthened his heart for that evil? It is, and I will prove it in Torah. But before I begin in that, I want all us to turn to 1 Thessalonians. And I want to ask you the question so that you may understand. 1 Thessalonians 5:21. YHWH says unto the remnant of Thessalonians, he says unto them, I want you to prove Duk imazo. Duk imazo would be the Greekish term, and also it would be nasa, the tongue of my forefather Abraham. That's how he would say it. But he said, you must test all things, you must examine all things, you must be precise in your forensic analysis. You must scrutinize all things, and above all that, it must be based upon that which is factual. And in the scrutinizing of Haruach, it will be factual. It will be the truth. And you examine that by Imat, truth of Torah. This is not the speculation of one or a group of those. It must be done and proven by Torah. We have a tremendous amount of little boys around here. They speak things, but it is not established by truth. And that's what proving is. You must establish it by a true witness. It must be full of truth. And above all of that, it must be genuine. I love you, you liar, Dawid. Love is one of the most powerful proofs of how one cares. It is shown. You can talk that bull all you want to, but it means nothing to Yah. You got to get real. We think we're stating by because you're special. You are a fool if you think you're special. You're filthy, you're dirty, and you're nasty. He said, I want you to prove all things. I want your proof to be established by your power to debate, your ability to argue for the right of Yah, and I want it to be authentic. That's what proving a thing is. It must be authentic, and it must be validated by you, your life. You can't say, man, I love my issue, and it's not proven. You must prove it. It must be authentic. And the only thing that can authenticate that is the Torah of Yah. It must be a test from this book. And if anyone talks about other books, you know that that one is deceived. And that one is foolish. So he said, prove all things. And then we hold fast unto that which is tough. We hold that in our bosom. We don't negate the promises of that. And that's what I'm going to do in Torah today. You've got a tremendous amount of young boys out here that love to challenge. One writes to me last week, he did not steal. Well, let's go through the manifesto, the book. Let us prove all things. Either today I will be proven a liar, a charlatan, one that is false, or the book will prove all things right. I prefer that. The book prove all things right. I want to be done with this thing we call the bikhura, the birthright. It is the right of the firstborn to inherit the right of the one that produced him. And that right is the right of progeneration, that it produced those that are after that kind. And train them in that way that they can be studious and they will grow in the power of that right. Because it is birthed in them, because the Father birthed it in him, and he transposed that to every generation. For example, you have seen what they call families that the firstborn produce, he produced the pattern. She produced the pattern. And all the children will fall in line. She will be the first one to become educated, and all of them will become educated. She will be the first one to get married to a very beautiful man, and all of them will follow pursuit in that. Another example, the firstborn, she is a devious whore. He's a violent thing. And every sibling is devious, they're violent, they're whorish. That's the way it is. Yes. Whether you buy that or not, it is just the truth. So the right, that one to generate the DNA of that seed, of the one that he came from. I want to begin here in Bereshit. We're going to understand this concept of the birthright, Esau. It says in Genesis chapter 27 and verse 5, he begins with this narrative, line the whole implication of what transpired. It says, and Rebecca, she heard the voice, she heard Yitzhak. She heard him speaking unto his son, Esau. He was the son. He was the son of a Hebrew. Just like he was the son of a Hebrew. And he bare forth two Hebrews. They both. Esau was the Zerah, the seed of Abraham, and so was Yitzhak. They both were seed of Abraham. But Esau, he went to the field to hunt for venison to bring it. She eavesdropped on the father and the son's relationship of speech, of openness, and so she heard the words. Was she biased? Did she have a bias between Esau and Jacob? We're going to find out. That's right. Yes, sir. You're absolutely right. Yes, sir. She was biased. The book will prove all things, not our feeble, silly, dumb emotions. Can I proceed a little further? I will. Let's look at verse 6. Now there's a narrative between 6 and 10. I will ask us all, what made Rebekah think this way? Let me read this and I will show you why she thought this way. It says this. And Rebekah, she spoke to Yaakov, her son, saying, I want you to understand, I want you to hear me. I eavesdropped, I heard your avat speak to Esau. Does she call him the brother of Jacob? Yes. Your brother. Yes. I heard him speak to Esau, your brother, saying, these are the words, bring me some of the best of the venison, and make me savory, flavorful, spicy meat. I want some that is so flavorful and with your care of love that represents my care of love for you. I want you to do me venison that I may eat. Not only that I may bless you before Yah, because your man knew that it was time, and it's time to expire upon the face of the earth. It was near. He knew he was dying. What a great blessing that is. To know you're dying and not pretending. He says, before my death. Now therefore, as Rebekah says to him, look at what she says to him, obey my voice. I'm going to prove all things now, right? This is his mother. Knowing that she's the weak confessor, she told him, commanded him to obey my voice. What did Esau do? He obeyed the voice of his avot. Yes. Because his father knew he was strong and mighty. The powerful man, he was fierce. He didn't back down to no one. We're going to examine words, all right? Yeah. We are a stupid generation. Yeah. We got ill-prepared, illiterates trying to teach us, and they don't even know what they're saying. Because they know we're ignorant. I will teach you, all right? Yeah. Hallelujah. She said, I want you to do according, hear my voice, according to which I command you. I demand of you, I command of you, and you must obey my voice. I'm mama, and mama knows best. No, daddy knew best. The Lord did not come through Rebekah. The right of the heritage did not come through Rebekah, but it came out of the zera of Abraham and out of Yitzhak, with the nations and people will be blessed of that seed. She says, go now and fetch me from the pastures too. She told him 2 goats, did she not? Yes. That's the way Yehuda is and YisraYah'ale. They are hard-headed, they are stubborn, they are rebellious, they are hateful, they despise one another. There is no love, there is no light. They're a bunch of liars, a bunch of pretenders. That's what is a goat? That goat's head is hard. Yes. There's nothing like a hard-headed goat. You're going to separate these violent goats who stand up against Yah's Torah and will not administer the truth of what the book says. She commanded 2 for 1 man dying, 2 goats. It has more ramification than our concept of just reading that. She's going to cook him 2 kid goats. She says to him, bring them, and I will make them savory meat for who? I'm going to do for your father such as he loves. He loves this meat. He cares for this. And you shall bring it to your father, and he may eat, that he may bless you before his death. That's a profound scheme right there. You little boys, don't write a notebook to post on our website. We're not going to post it. Where did she get this from? did she deduce this? What stirred her heart to tell the one that was not of the right to go and do something that was out of the realm of her commanded him to do? Where did she get it from? If I tell you, would you believe me?
Yes.
Don't believe me. Believe what the book says.
Yes.
I want you to hold your finger there. I'll put a marker there. And I will show you where she got this from. I will show you where she got it from. You don't know. We don't labor in the Torah of Yah. I will show you. Is that all right?
Yes.
All right, let's go to the writings of Moshe. It is called Jubilees. Jubilees. Jubilees chapter 19. Jubilees, the writing of Jubilees, chapter 19. And I would have begun verse 14. Where did she get this mindset from? Where did she get this kind of logic from? It says in Jubilees 19, verse 14, it talks about the two youth. The Torah said the youth grew. And Yaakov, he learned to write. He wanted to be precise and beautiful in his diction, so he learned to write. You understand?
Yes.
But Esau did not learn. He did not learn how to write because it was meaningless to him. His stature, his person spoke more than the volumes of words he could write. For he was a man of the field, and the Torah calls him a hunter. Not only that, but it's one thing he had learned how to do. He had learned the milchaya. He had learned how to fight. He was a warrior. He was a gabbat. He was a man of strength. He was a man of tenacity. He was a tenacious man, and nobody backed him down. He would drop you better than he would drop a deer at 100 yards with his bow and his arrow. Would you already hear this now? It says, and all, not some, all of his deeds was fierce. He didn't play around. All of the deeds of Esau were very fierce. And Abraham, you see, it says Abraham, doesn't it?
Yes.
And Abraham loved Yaakov. He loved Yaakov. But Yitzchak loved Esau.
Yes.
And Abraham saw the deeds. He saw the tenacious activities of Esau. He was a bad boy. He was a bad boy. Nobody backed him down. Nimrod couldn't back him down. No one backed him down. He says, and he saw the deeds of Esau, and he knew because Esau, he was not the type that would create some kind of shalom. He would destroy you and take everything to his desire. Yeah. Listen to what he said. I want you to be careful. Listen. And he knew that Yaakov, he knew that Yaakov should his name and seed be called. In Yaakov he said, that is the one whereby all things shall prevail. And that's why when he wrestled with the Melachia, changed his name from Yaakov to YisraYah'ale. And so he said, I know that the tenaciousness of Esau, he will root up and tear down every kingdom because he's fierce. And he says on, and he called, look at this now. This is Abraham in cahoots against his own grandbaby. So he called Rebekah, and he gave her commandments regarding Yaakov, for he knew that she too loved Yaakov much more than Esau. Does it say that?
Yes.
Does it say that?
Yes.
She loved him much more than Esau. And don't tell me we're not partial that way. As a young lad growing up, I always felt that. My mother loved the other ones much more than she cared for me. There was no love of attachment and sensitivity of love. And she loved Jacob more than she loved Esau. She didn't love Esau with the same breath and the same love that she loved Jacob. She loved Jacob, it says, much more than Esau. Look at this. This is what Abraham said. And he said to her, how did she get this? Amazing spirit. This Abraham was not the most upright one in his walk. He lied about his wife. And then look what he does. And he said to her, my daughter. He did not say, watch over my sons. He says, watch over my son, Jacob. It's almost like a grandfather knows he's dying. He's got the elders that is much more lively, animated than the one that is in the middle, and he puts everything on the one in the middle. You've never seen that kind of scenario?
Yes.
The one in the middle, although he didn't care for grandpapa like the oldest one, the oldest one will come and sit and talk, and they will laugh with the middle one. He was always about his subtle deeds and his actions. And so grandpapa looked on that one and say, I know that this is my oldest boy, but I know this boy can run things better here. He's book smart. But my oldest boy doesn't have that book smartness. He doesn't have that ferocity like this one. So he puts everything on him. Well, because he thinks that this one is going to be fair about everything. He thinks this one is going to do everything appropriately and proper. And that's the way Abraham thought. That's the way Abraham thought. He said, this is the one that shall carry the seed line. But Esau was the one born. They carry on the progeneration of the seed line. Fact of the matter. So he drew the mother in. There are mothers that have loved this one more than she loved that one. There are fathers have loved this one more. That's a damn lie if you think it doesn't exist.
Hallelujah.
Has cared for this one more than that one. Have loved this one very much. Would tolerate, would bear, and do all things for that one. But don't let that one that is tenacious and fierce and knows the strength of his manhood know. She loved him much. Rabba, much more than she loved Esau. She loved him much more than Esau. And he said to her, my daughter, watch over my son Jacob. For he, now this is what Abraham, he commanded this. For he shall be in my stead. One saying that I stand instead of this one or that one. I stand instead, he will stand, because this is the way I would do it. And I just discern that he has something in him that's different than that oldest one. All I hear about Esau, he is tumultuous. He doesn't back down. He has broken backs. He has caused the armies to fear him. He was a bad boy. Yes. And the boys that hung with him, they were bad boys. That's what he says here. He can stand in my stead on the earth. Are we not standing in the stead of YHWH? Are we not standing in his place? If we're standing in his place, the only way we know we're standing in his place, we must continue in the Torah of Yah. And then we understand the power and definitive of truth, and then we're free from every kind of obligation, but to the commands of Almighty Yah. He says, stand in my stead on the earth, and for blessing in the midst of the children of men, and for the splendor of the whole seed. Now, he said not just some of the seed, but he said the whole seed of Shem. Of Shem, the son of Noah, wasn't he? Yes. The whole, did he say some of the seed or the whole seed? Oh. So what seed that Abram, or what seed did he come out? He come out of the same seed that we. He come out of the son of Shem. What seed that Esau come out of? For the whole seed of Shem. The That's what he says. For the whole, he did not say of any of the other brothers. He did not say of the seed of YHWH. He did not say of the seed of Ham, but he said of the seed of Shem. Of the seed, not some, and in his seed shall all the earth be blessed. He says, but out of the zerah of Yaakov, he's going to make a profound statement. He's going to make a statement that is much more profound than all of my sons and all of my lineage. That's what he was saying. And a blessing to midst of the children of men. A blessing in the midst of the children of men, not just some men, but all men. Yeah. He said, and for splendor of the whole earth. Look at this. Verse 18. For I know. Y'all didn't tell him. But he said, I yada, understand. I've experienced enough with Yah. I know that Yah will. Not that Yah has, but I know that Yah will. 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 Choose him. That's what he said. Yeah. That's what he said. I know that Yah will. Different if he said, I know that Yah has chosen him. I know it will be the will, the face, the pleasure of Yah. It is Yah's pleasure to choose him. I know I experienced this. And I know Yah. I know him in all of my depravity, my sin. I know him to the great degree. And this is the one. I know the pattern of man and what has been rendered on the earth. Men like Esau, how destructive and how tenacious they are. You're going to do it Esau's way because he's a great warrior. Or there is no other way you're going to do it. He said, for I know that Yah will elect Mochir. Yah didn't tell him. He said, I know that Yah will. He said, I know that Yah will choose him. Yaakov, I know that he would choose him to be a people for possession unto himself. Look, above all people, if we keep his commandments, if we do what Yah commands us. Yes. If we don't do what Yah commands us, we're not above no one. Yeah. We're not above any people. That's why we're in the condition we're in. It's not as much as some kind of physical captivity. It is the stupidity of our mind. It is our own immaturity, not our will, to adhere to what Yah commands us. And everybody propagate their own lies. Everybody got something that is right and it's all wrong. Because you don't see a transition in the people. You don't see a change in the people. There is a transformation when YHWH opens up the light of Torah. You're doing just like the world doing. You're dressing like whores like the world. You're dressing like the femoral fags like the world. There is no transition in your life, devil. You look like the women of the world, dressed like a whore, wanting the attention of every man. Same thing with you little effeminate boys. Want to be cool and smooth. That's the word, isn't it? I've got something for you. That's why these ignorant men cannot challenge me. They cannot show me because they only know 1 or 2 verses. And they want to talk on that, or they just talk verbally out of what? Not out of wisdom. They just talk. Look what he says now. I know that Yah will choose him and all of that, him above all the people that are upon the face of the earth. Why? And behold, he says, I know in verse 19, YisraYah'ale, my son, he loves Esau more than Yaakov. Because Esau was what you would call a man's man. He was a man's man. He had the strength and the nurturing of a man. YisraYah'ale was no pushover. And it says, I know that Esau loved Esau more than Yaakov. It's almost like a father saying, boy, pick yourself up. And one son, he said, be like your big brother. Come on, get strong. Look at your big brother. Act like him. We are such an ignorant people. We don't even know how to see the light of things. Although they have transpired in your lives, we're just too ignorant. We're just ignorant. And we don't want to attach to that. He said, I know why he loves Esau? Because he's a bad boy. As one would say, vicariously, I live through my son. Everything he does, I want to do, but I couldn't do it. The bad boy he is, I want to be a bad boy like him, but I couldn't do it. I didn't have, he's strong. Boy, I would love to be strong. He was physical. His physicality was one of a demeanor that when men looked at him, they stopped and they looked. And so the father vicariously lives through that one. And the mother through the daughter. She is so pretty. She didn't get that from me. You've never heard people say that. We're silly. I've been around long enough. You've heard people say that. She's the prettiest girl you want to look at. And so Yitzhak saw this beautiful, strong man. His silhouette of his symmetry when he would walk in a place, it would illuminate the place. When he would walk in a place, men, the hair on their bodies would stand up. As one in the days of the hood, you knew not to mess with that one. And when he walked in, everybody knew, stand at attention. And the whole room got quiet. You understand what I'm saying? When that woman was more attractive than all, when she walked in, the silhouette, the beauty, even the reflection of her legs, her symmetry. Every man with his wife, he looked, he wanted his wife, he wanted to talk to her, but he was looking that way. I know that this is extreme, but it's the truth. Esau was everything that Yaakov wasn't. That's why he loved him. And so Abraham saw the shallow deeds. You know, it's like one boy rather be in the kitchen cooking with mama. Nothing wrong with that. One rather be out on the baseball diamond or out in the gym or boxing or something of that nature. And there are young men that way. They are young men that love to be in the company of their mother, love to learn those things. Not that they are effeminate. That doesn't mean that. And there are those that, man, they want to climb a tree. They want to climb the telephone pole. And they want to see how close they can get to the electric line. How do I know? Because I did it. We were just too afraid to touch them. Didn't have nothing. We could climb them with our bare foots. That's what I did as a young boy. You understand? And there were those that were closer to mama. And that's the same scenario. We see this. The same way. We just like our mother above, we love the mother YHWH like him on the earth. She was a whore, she was slutty, and we love to do whore, slutty things. But the mother that is above, she's a strong man. We have been birthed from that one there. She's sincere. Her devotion is unto Yah. She doesn't parade herself like a Jezebel. She's sincere. And everything she does is to bring light unto her head. You see that? And so Yitzhak loved Esau more than Yaakov. And he sowed the seed in her mind. But I see that you truly love Yaakov. Where did she get it from? From the grandpapa. She got it from the grandpapa because she said, I believe, I trust that this is the one. I know the kind of makeup what I've been around for a long, long time. And I know what Yah looks for in a man. I know what he looks for. I know what he desires. I know what he wants. Yes. And that's the one I believe. I just feel in my love that that's the one. Because Esau, he will not take it from no one. We've got to understand some things today. Yeah. Listen to me, you all. Don't listen to these little immature individuals. Cannot back up anything with a preponderance of evidence. When you prove something, it must be authentic. Yeah. Now, did I capsulate this, why she felt this way, by some kind of injection of my own thoughts, or did I read from the book? I read from the book, didn't I? See, when men can't go to the book with you, you know they're shallow and weak. Yeah. Don't listen to them. Yeah. Tell them to shut up. Tell me where to go. When you come to my office and talk to me, I will open up the book. Yes. And any time one is so weak they can't open up the book, that's when that's weak. Yeah. It's best to leave it alone. All right? Now where did she get this from? She got it from Abraham. How did he know that she really loved Yaakov? Because she pampered him. And Esau would say, let the boy be a man. She pampered him. And Esau would come in there and get disgusted. I'm going hunting. And come back with a 115-pound book across his back. He knew how to skin it and prepared for his daddy. He could hear smell the wafting of the aroma to his nose. This is a man's man. He didn't learn to cook it from his mama. He didn't go on that stand in the place where the little stove, that little wood stove was being utilized to cook the savory meat up. He learned on his own. He knew the herbs of the field. He knew what to bathe the lamb in. His daddy said, boy, you know this right. But Rebecca knew too, all right? As those said, mama knows best. And that's not a false thing, you understand? Now let's go back to Bereshit where we stopped in verse 10, all right? Hallelujah. Let's go back to Bereshit. Now we know why Rebecca thought the way she thought. Don't we know that?
Yes.
Because it was sorted in her mind. And you go tell him, you command him, you speak with authority. I want to show us something. I'm a student above all things. Go back to Bereshit, Genesis 27:11. And Jacob said to Rebekah, his mother, these are his words, but Esau, my brother, is a hairy man. He built with strength. He is ruddy and he's a strong man. Well, the eyes of the old father were getting dim. They were dimmer than my eyes. Then he used a word here that those that are listening and those that will hear this will not even know unless they are great desire of the forensic discovery of words. He used the word here, but I am halak. Halak. It's a profound word. Well, smooth. Well, it means he's not muscular. No, that's not what it means. He says, I'm smooth. I can write. I can read. I know how to formulate words. I know how to take advantage of the thinking and the concept of others because I am halak. Halak. I will define it not by my own reasoning, but the word halak means it's only enunciated 3 times in Torah. The words halak. The words halak. Only 3 times. So you know that there's a witness that that is the truth. Yes. Only 3 times. I will show you what the 3. He said, but I am a smooth man. I am halak. Well, what does the word halak mean? It means this. And if the verses that this word is associated with does not back it up, I'm a filthy, dirty liar. It means one that is smooth with their mouth and they love to flatter. Do you tell me that y'all puts that in a man to flatter another? Because the flattering mouth, there is nothing more evil than that. He used the word halak. Now I want you to put your finger there, not your finger. Hold this in Bereshit, and I will show you. This is one time the word halak is used. All right? This is Yaakov describing himself. Is it not? Is this not Yaakov in the first person describing himself? He says, I'm a man that is halach, Rebecca, mama, iman, that's what I am. Now I want you to hold your finger there, and let's go here. I want to show you what this word implies. Go to Mishli, Proverbs, chapter 26, and verse 28. I want to read from the lips of Dawid. This is what he says. He says, lying lips or lying tongue hate those that are afflicted by it. Does it say that? Yes. The lips of one that lie, you hate anyone that, I don't care if it's your children, your husband, your wife, if you lie, you son, nay, you hate them. And he says, and by a halach, and by a flattering mouth, it works wounds. That mouth works ruins the day upon YisraYah'ale. He said, you know that I'm a smooth man. You know that I'm halach. I'm a man that is smooth. And my words will bring one into captivity, a flattery. I'm speaking in a way that I can seduce them. Well, Esau was the one that he was strong and fiery and tenacious. He said, I don't have to speak proper grammatics. I'll just tell you, get out of my way. You'll get out of my way. Yeah? Now, this is one place the words halach is used. It's not difficult to find this. A decent concordance will show you this. And there's one more place. It's found here in Ezekiel, and Ezekiel chapter 12 and verse 24. These are the only three places the word halach is used. Now the word smooth or smoother is used, but this is the only three places of definitive whereby you can understand what Yaakov was saying. These are the places. You get an understanding. You can prove what he was saying. I proved it. He was flattered. He was one that flattered. Look here in Ezekiel 12:24. Yah says to the nation, there shall be no more any vain vision. You say you have the knowledge of Yah and the visions of Yah. It's a lie. They're vain. He says, nor halach, nor flattering, smooth divination. I got the power. I can change his mind. Honey, I got words that I know how to talk to. You never heard people say that? We're not that gullible. And that's what divination is. That's what the halach or the divination of halach is. The words that are smooth. It's almost like a car salesman, a used one. He'll make you buy 2 cars when you know you can afford that one. They're smooth and they flatter you and they talk and they serenade you and they move in a fashion. But a man that knows words, I don't want to look at that. No. Hold on. I know what. Hold up, man. Let me look, all right? That's Esau. Let me look. No. I know what I want. When I find what I want, I come see you, all right? Now, don't go that way with me. That's the way Esau was. Yaakov was with that halach. He flattered. He was smooth. He said he was smooth. I didn't say it. He was a smooth. In my days, they would say, man, he is so smooth. You never heard that? His walk was smooth and his talk. He could talk you out of your bubble gum. He was a smooth talker. You never heard that? You haven't been around a while then. I've been around through some years. Oh, the old one back there said, yeah, he was smooth as they come. Look how smooth he is. He's a smooth man. Boy, look how he walks. Ooh. I would hear the women folks say that. She's going up and down. You've been around a while, all right? And he was smooth. And when he started talking, he could flatter anyone. Can I say this? He's dead now, an uncle. He was black as that shirt, Zachary, didn't mean that. His name was Jodine. He didn't speak English at all. Could hardly write his name. But he was a smooth man. Whether they were old, whether they were young, he was that smooth. He was black and he was tall. And he had a smile about him. And I've seen him in action. He was so smooth. He's not saying you are. He's saying you is and be you this. That's the way he talked. He care about it. Yaakov was smooth. He had flattering words. He had this ambitious vocabulary. He was always learning and looking in the written materials that he could lay his hands on. Esau was about making ends meet. Having meat on the table. And don't mess with my boys, because if you do, I'm coming to tear your house up. That was Esau. And so Abraham said, that will never produce shalom. But he will. He will be humble. But this one here, and the seed will be humble that comes out of him. But Esau, No, it's just like a daddy, he produces a son, and they all, I've seen families where they're all big and they're all bad. I've seen families where all the boys, they would tear a house down because daddy was a fool, and they would tear the root cellar out. They were bad, and they had all of them had the temperament of that daddy. You all know what I'm saying. Sure. And I've seen fathers who were just kind of docile and kind of, what about all the sons that were that way? They didn't know shit. But I've seen boys that they no, hold up, dog. No, you better get back. And they were them brothers were laid down on anyone. They're laid down on a police officer. They didn't care. They're laid down on the baddest. No, I've got my brothers with me. They didn't look for shalom. Esau didn't look for shalom. Yaakov was the one that he could maneuver with words and talk out of the situation. I like Yaakov too. That's the way he could do things. Look at this here. Yes, Ezekiel. For there shall be no more any vain visions, nor any kind of flattering. Halak. You can't be smooth. You can't talk your way out of everything. Of divination or mixum or to practice lies and divining. Within the house, be it YisraYah'ale. Cannot be any halak. It began with halak, didn't it? It begins with the smooth words of Yaakov. Takes a little grit at times. He didn't have the grit like his brother. He said waves of men to get dips his brother. His brother didn't sin in anything. He was fearful and crying. Brother didn't sin no gifts. He did. Because he was a smooth talker. Let's get real. In all of the heritage of us, Yah shows us that this is how we are unless it had been for the dawn, if we do not allow that to cover our mind, you're gonna go the same way. I don't care how much knowledge you think you have. It means nothing. I don't care how smart you think you are. It doesn't have anything to do with Yah. None whatsoever. So she loved this one that was smooth like her. She was smooth too now. Because she says, obey my voice. Obey my voice. That phraseology, I'm going to read that. I'll get to that next. I'm a student of study. It's pronounced only 11 times in Torah. That combination of words. Obey mine. Obey mine. Obey mine. And Rebecca is responsible for 6. And Yah is responsible for 5. You understand that? They see you, ones that think you're smart, you can never tell us that. Because you don't have that tenacious drive and that will to understand. When you see something of that magnitude, she commanded him, obey my voice. Let me move on, all right? So let's go back to Bereshit. We're going to get it done for you, all right? I want to finish this today because I need to move on, all right? Joaquin and Achim need to come, all right? She says here in Bereshit, she says in Genesis 27:12, this is what he says. This is what Yaakov says. Is this him talking? Yes. Verse 12. Yes. For Ma'abah, Ma'avat, peradventure will feel, he will masha. He will thoroughly embrace me. You know, when you haven't seen someone in a while and they say, come here, boy, old folks will say, oh, boy, you look at you, man, let me come here. You know, I have. Yes. Baby, come here. Oh, look how pretty you is. Get over here. Oh, baby. You never seen that? Yes. Listen, they do it, people. They grab me, get up, point. Get over here, boy. Oh, my. Stand your back. I'm going to just point this rubber in your back. Get up. He knew that his father would do that. Because he had seen it too many times with Esau. He knew. But look what he says. He said, perhaps my father will masha, and that is to feel thoroughly, to feel someone, to touch intimately, in the sense. This is my son. This is my son. Will fill me. And then he used this right here. This is the catalyst here. And I shall sing to him. No, not sing. He will know. I shall sing to him as a deceiver. Now the word is not used in many places in the Torah. But I want to show you who and how that word exemplifies or give us wisdom of what Yaakov said. I will sing like a deceiver. Is that what he said?
Yes.
I will sing like a one that cheats, one that's a liar, one that's a thief, one that's a robber. Let's examine this. And then he says this is a semicolon there, isn't it?
Yes.
That statement stands alone. I will be like a cheater to him, a ta'ah. He said, and I shall bring. Does it say that?
Yes.
Does it say I might, or there's a condition, or does it say I shall? Is that not an affirmation, a confirmation? And I shall bring what? A what?
Curse.
A curse, a kilala. And I shall bring a curse upon me. I shall bring this contempt, this kind of attitude. I shall bring this contempt and dishonor. That's what he said. That's what a kilala is. I shall bring a curse upon me, not a blessing. And not a blessing. I want to show us as we hold our fingers there. We're going back to Bereshit. But I want us to look here in Second Chronicles. I want to show you how this word is placed in Torah, how it is used. And I'm going to break down this word for us. Not of mind meeting of what it means to me, but through the judicial process of words, developments of words, and how it was injected or produced this kind of meaning in our society and even that society at that time. He used the word T-A-W-A-H, ta'ah. Let's turn here to 2 Chronicles 36:15. It says this. This is the only other place where this word ta'ah is used. And most scholars and students, false ones, they're not going to search it out. I knew that was not just the term that I preach on, the SHABBAT, that kind of deception. I knew that there was something greater than that. This is the only other place it's used in Torah. This is the only other place it's spoken. 2 Chronicles 36:15. And Yah the Abba of the Father sent to them. He has sent messengers. He raised up early and sending. Why? Because he had compassion. He had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place, on the assembly. That's why he sent messengers. He sent those to instruct us and give us instruction to strive to do according to his will. Verse 16. But they mocked. We do that. We mocked the messenger of Yah. I don't have to do what he said. Ain't nobody telling me that. You never said that out here. Yeah. Ain't nobody telling me. I don't need nobody tell me nothing. I don't need nobody show me nothing. See, that's what they did. They mocked, they ridiculed, they lied, they ostracized the messengers of Yah. It did not just say messenger, but it identifies who they were messengers of the Most High. And they despised whose word? His word. That's Yah. His word. His word. And in most of your books, it should be capital H to show you the significance of the pronoun. And they marked what? They marked the words of the Dawid, the promises of Yah. And they, look at this now, this is what the word ta'ah is. And they misuse, and they cheated, and they lied against his prophets. Does it say that? Yes. This is the only place, besides what Yaakov spoke, that this word is used. It's used no other place in Torah. You know the place. And so Yaakov misused his father. He misused his right and the passage of a son. He said, I shall seem like a deceiver unto him. And that's the way we do things, don't we? We always try to deceive and lie and pretend. We are liars that are so wicked, it's a damnable shame. You're going to die a liar. I'm telling you that now. There's nothing like honesty and honor. Y'all, knowing that it would take someone that is as simple as me, that would dig beyond the visual of the word and get into the ruach and the depth of the word, that I can show you this today. Nobody else has shown you this. It's too simple. It's too simple. People want to think they have a volume of great wisdom and wealth, and can't even show you the magnitude of their knowledge from the book. They just talk off the cuff. He said, and you have misused his prophets. You have ta'ab. You have been cheated. You have lied. You have stolen. I will show you the word deceived, its ramification and what it means. He said, his prophets unto the Hema, unto the wrath, my coldness, my hand that no one can stop. Even YHWH is not going to stop it. Once my rage and my anger, y'all gets mad. Do you get mad? You self-righteous hypocrites, we'll say we don't get mad. We don't get off. We don't get angry. I know I do. But I don't let it rest in my bosom because I don't go to bed with that in my heart. No! Don't tell me. I get angry. I get angry more than anything of our ignorance and our stupidity, of mine and our stupidity. That it must be a constant reminder and a constant telling. You tell me to do something one time, how to do it. You don't need to tell me no more. You tell me what is best for this community. I want to do that. You don't have to look for me. You can always find me. That's a fact. I'm always willing. Always. That's a fact. Hallelujah. I'm not saying nothing. Garner any kind of what you would call quote glory, unquote. I don't need that. I'm going to die like every man in here. Every person in here. I'm going to die and I'm going to rot. So are you. Hallelujah. Look what he says here now. And Yah says, until the wrath of Yah rose against his people, till there was just one remedy.
No remedy.
No mape. And there is no mape, no remedy. The word mape, as much as I've taught on that, there is no health in you, there is no healing. I don't give a damn how sick you are. But when there is a remedy for you, the mape, you see that in a man, you see that in a woman, you see that in their ruach, and you hear the compliments in their ruach, and everyone knows that this is a precious man. She's a sweet daughter of Zion. And Yah said, when my anger rises, when my anger rises up, there is no healing. There is no mape. There is no healing. There is no reconstitution. There is no restore. And he means what he says. We have taken the name of YHWH in vain. We must understand the ramification of words, our speech, our actions. He will understand that I am a deceiver. I will seem like a deceiver unto him. I will seem as though that I am a ta'ab. I'm a cheater. I'm a liar. I'm a scoundrel. He was all of that. There's none perfect, clean. No, not one of us. But I'm cleansed. I like that part. I'm cleansed to the dam of YHWH. And so what transpired, I will go. I'm all right now. I've been washed in the dam of YHWH. I've been washed. Oh, I'm clean, 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 clean. I'm clean. I don't care what the guilt fault or the guilt action. That doesn't mean you have this liberty to go and act like a fool. That doesn't mean you can say anything you want to, do anything you want to, go and treat each other any kind of way. You're a fool. It took a cold man to do what Yaakov did. I'll prove it. I'll prove it. He says, until there was no remedy for them. Now, I want to explain to you the word ta'ah. It's not from my intellectual prowess because I'm not intellectual. I'm not intellectual. And I tell everyone I'm not smart. I'm just ignorant enough to know that when you talk ignorant, you don't know what you're saying. It's almost like an ignorant, he would debate on everything. I had a brother, he's dead. But Wesley would debate you on everything, even if he didn't know. The old man used to come here and fellowship with us. He would debate you on everything. But he didn't realize who he was debating. And I remember one day he said to us all, we were gathered right there by my office. He says, Rev, you remind me of my brother. He is the head of the hospital facilities in Saudi Arabia. He said, when you talk, you know what you're saying. He said, you can't beat you because you know. And this was an educated old man. Was educated in the 40s. He was married to a millionaire white woman, and there was a great distinction between he and you would tell the old elder prophet was no dumb man. And I would break the old man down and say, you're wrong. It's not that way. That's not what he says. And he said that day, I tell you what, you remind me so much of my brother, because when my brother tells you something, he knows what he's saying. See, I will talk over you and try to convince you. He said, you can't do that. And there are men that think they have that ability. They don't even have the persona. Yes. You don't even have the personality to do that. It's best to be quiet and learn. Now, I want to deal with the word Yaakov said here. He said that, he says, just hold on right there, okay? Go back to Genesis 27. He said, I shall seem to my father as a deceiver. Does he not say that? Genesis, Bereshit 27:12? Yeah. Does he not say that? Now, yeah. Esau didn't say that. This is Yaakov's talking, isn't it? Yeah. He said, I will seem like a deceiver. Now, I want to show you what the word deceiver, or what it means, to cheat. Cheat is to be an imposter. When you're an imposter, you are a swindler. What does a swindler do? It steals. That's all right, I got you, young blood out there. He's a thief. Not only that, he is a charlatan. And a synonym of the word deceiver, charlatan, it is a thief, crook, scammer, fraud, and you do crooked action. Now that is what it means. These are not my words, but Yaakov said, I was seen to my father as a deceiver. Yes. It's almost like a child in college and say, Daddy, I'm doing well. And Dad is so happy. He's full of adoration. And yet the boy's fucking out. They're young boys that have killed mom and daddy because they were fucking out of college and they didn't want them to know. Their daughters that were the whores fucking out and got pregnant have killed their parents because they didn't want them to know. You understand? They deceive themselves. And so this man, Yaakov, the birthright or the seed of the heritage for the nation, he calls himself and says, I shall be like a deceiver, a damn crook, a liar, and a thief, a robber. I must prove it out, right? Yes. Can I begin to prove it out? Yes. Let us understand that this expression of deceiver in Torah, okay? Quickly, I want to begin here in Sharach. Sharach. I want to read passages whereby a deceiver, how it is expressed, and it is the word shagah. Shagah. A liar will lead you astray and lie to you and seduce you for one reason: to take, to steal, to swindle. That's what a con man does, doesn't he? Yes. To swindle and to steal. And this boy was a con man. Let's get real. This is what it says in Sirach 28:13. The only reason is because the promise of Yah unto Abraham has nothing to do with Yaakov's righteousness. Had nothing to do with Abraham. It had everything to do with what his word. Yah is two things. By two things he is immutable. He cannot lie. The Torah cannot lie, And the witness of YHWH cannot lie. That is the immutability of Yah. And he cannot lie. He can't lie. And it was not because Yaakov was righteous, but because Yah had promised. He was no righteous than Esau. And you find everybody in the corner thinking, I've learned my heritage. Your heritage or your culture is a pile of hoax.
Yes.
I'm going to begin teaching that. You hear, I found out who I am. Damn, if that is not one of the most stupidest statements upon the face of the earth, I would rather say I found him.
Yes.
Because he found me. I found out how wretched and how corrupt I am. And they delight more in my culture, but you haven't heard what your culture consists of, because the liars tell you lies. I'm going to begin teaching on that. Yes, ma'am, yes, sir. Straight from the book. My culture, who I am, you're dirty, filthy swine of a pig, you're a liar, you're dirty, you stink. That's what we is. There's nothing about our culture that should bring a great delight. We were thieves and liars. We damned the one that brought us out of great tyranny of bondage. And the one that showed an exceptional law. We don't give a damn about him. We would know how we care about him. It's how we care about each other. We love each other. They abuse, they mistrust his messenger, didn't they? Okay. They don't love the true messengers. They love someone that make them feel nice. And can't say nothing but the same clownish mess and got you laughing. I could have them coming here by the tons if I was a clown and playing around. As these dogs will say, nipping and tipping. They will come. I don't want that kind of fellowship. I don't want to be in the company of that kind. And I will not go against the standard of Yah for this damnable wicked man here. I will not. You can. No, I'm the wrong one for you. I want to deal with this word here, not but the definitive of the word in this sense, sugar, in this sense of deceiver. Sirach 20:13. That's why I tell you all people, you better learn what you're doing and see what you're doing. Yah talks about curse, the whisper. Yes. That's what Yah says. You that love the whisper and talk behind, as the old folks will say, they whisper, they talk behind your back. And that's what Rebekah and Yaakov did. They talk behind the back of a man dying. They talk behind the back of a man dying. That love, he did not have no disgruntled feeling about Yaakov, but he wanted Yaakov to be like his older brother. What daddy would not want that? That older brother that's tough, he's right. A whisper cursed the whisper. You keep your whispering line ways. You gather your conclaves of demonology, and your conclaves of dividing, and you whisper and you talk and you talk. You see, you know you're not whispering when you're talking about you and telling your sins and your damn corruption, and how vile I am, how much I've missed, and how much I got to catch up. You know it, but you're going to whisper about him. Why? Or him. That's my friend there. How you doing, my friend? So wonderful to see you. We whisper, we lie. He said, curse the whisper. And those that are double-tongued deceivers. Curse be them. Were there not two tongues, Rebekah and Yaakov? Yes. Did not he say that I'm a deceiver? I will seem like a deceiver. Did not Yaakov say that? Yes. Did he not identify himself as that? I see nowhere. Yes. Well, Esau said, I was a deceiver. No. I see nowhere. But I see where Yaakov says, I was seen to him as though that I am a shakha. I'm a whisperer. I'm a liar. I'm a one that is a scammer. I'm a thief. We're going to break it down. You don't have to like it. But it's still the truth. You don't think you know your culture and you found out who you are. Well, the first thing you would have found out, you're filthy, you're dirty, you're a sinless devil, you're a sinful devil, you're full of lies and corruption, as though your heritage, as you call it, is going to cause you to enter into the kingdom knowledge. That is so stupid. That is so stupid. That is an unlearned mind. It's so stupid. And they get together and they rile each other. You know you're Hebrew Israelite, baby. I don't care. And they dress like hoes and dogs. And the man lusting for your wife, and you sit there lusting for his wife, and you turn and look at his wife's dress. That's crazy. That's what they do. That's what they do. For he has destroyed many who were actually on who? Young. There's nothing like that spirit of deception as a deceiver, because you were a deceiver. You deceived your father. We don't do that, I know. We try to deceive you all the time. I treat everybody nice. You are a filthy, wicked liar. You don't even treat yourself right. We can pretend in front of each other, and we gather in the conclave how nice and how sweet and how pleasant I am, but that not a damn thing get past me. I know what you're doing, all of us. You can act all pious all you want to. It doesn't get past y'all. See this latter part ought to frighten you. It says, there's a comma there because of deceiver, for he has destroyed many who were at Shalom. And you think you're so peaceful and so sweet. And yes, I'm going to destroy that fool of a man. I'm going to destroy that Jezebel of a woman. She thinks she's so right and so, come on, nation. You got to get this thing right. And you got to begin here. Not this whole thing here, because you got to begin here. You got to begin here. There must be transformation and renewing here. And though it's going to be done, you must be told what you is, and what you is about, and all about who you is, and everything about who you is. That's what you got to be told. Isn't it amazing? Whispers tell you about everybody else, but they don't tell about them. Y'all come out and get my sin. I'll tell you, I'm weak. I came around me enough. I don't care. So what? Let's move on. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. That's our talk. And I'll preach a while. Let's get busy. That's right. It is the truth, my friend. Look at another place. This is Job here. In all of his great Job 12:16. Is this the truth right here? It says Job in 12:16. Job 12:16. With Yah is strength. You believe his strength with Yah? Yes. With him is strength. That's what he's talking about. Yes. And wisdom, Ukma. You believe that? Yes. With Yah there's a great might and a great strength and a great wisdom. It says the deceived. Does it say deceived? Yes. And the Shagar and the deceiver are his. So although Yaakov said, I will see him as a deceiver, he said, I got my hands on you. And he said, you're not getting by the afflictions that shall come upon you. You procure that curse upon you. Your mama helped you procure that upon you. And can I show an example? A mother knows that her son is dead wrong. She will hide his sins and his corruptions. She will laugh. If she knows her daughter is evil and wicked, she will lie and hide all of their sins. You deceive yourself. You're a deceiver. She's good. She's not. She may be good because to you she is a God. She is a God. Yes. She's not tough. She's not excellent in her life. She's a good girl. She's a devilish cow. Yes. She's a demon. She's a liar. You cannot get anything that is excellent and have something that's bitter and true. That's the truth. I don't care if you don't love me. I don't care if I talk about your mama, your daddy, your daughter, your son, or whoever. It makes me no different. I am a son of Yah. Yeah. And all this is in the book what I'm reading, right? Yeah. Am I his son? Yeah. He's talking to me then. Yeah. This is how unintelligent we are and how ignorant we are, because as one that used to be with us, I said one day, you don't take things too personally. I'll never forget what he said. He came to me and said, well, they better take it personally because it's about them. He didn't take it personally. And he's a fool now. I'm glad he told me that. I didn't. That's a wise statement. You better take it personally. Because this is what he's saying. He's talking to me. All right? Let's move on a little further. All right? You that deceives, you that shirah, you that is a cheater, you're a liar, you're an imposter, you try to swindle, you want everybody to think highly of you, and you don't give a damn about nobody. Rebecca wanted Yaakov to be thought of highly, and she didn't give a damn about Esau because she loved, not just loved Yaakov, she loved him much more. And their children have sensed the much more love for the sister than me, for the brother than me. It's one thing about love in the sense of, why do you think that baby can lie on mama like that? He can rest in bosom right there. The baby can lie on her arm. She can hold baby because they sense this form. They sense what they call this energy of love. And don't tell me that a son or daughter can't sense that. I didn't sense that from my mother because I knew she didn't know how to love, but it was all right with me. You understand? I knew one thing, I wasn't going to be like that. I knew one thing, I was not going to be like that. I will not treat my children like that. I will not do a wife like that. I will not do friends like that. That doesn't make me right because I thought like that. It is him that makes us right. We're damn hypocrites what we are. Hallelujah. Can I move on? Yeah. Well, let us see what Dawid says. Tehillim, Psalms 119, 110. Now you tell me that Yah's working through this in the heart of a man that know he is full of deception. You tell me this was the plan of Yah as the way that Yaakov and Esau went. That was Yah's plan. No, that was Abraham's plan. He planned that, and this is what he wanted, and this is how he wanted. I know that Yah would have bestowed the right of the birth promise upon him. Yah could have took Esau out at any time because he fought against one of the most powerful nemesis there was, and that was Nimrod. Nimrod, he was a bad boy. Yet he let someone that was a swindler, a thief, his own brother killed there. Brothers kill brothers. My first cousin, his brother shot him right there in his mammy's yard. And that old woman, in her old age, she was still nasty and devilish and wicked. That's my aunt. You can think she was nice. She was a wicked old woman. The last time I saw her, I said, woman, you don't come here that way. I don't care. You put on something even up there. You make provisions for the wicked. I don't do that because I don't make none for myself. I don't do things that are evil and try to hide from you all right? I don't do that. I don't steal. I don't do evil things. Am I like, my earshot living above everyone here? She doesn't do a damn thing. She doesn't work. She's lazy. That's a lie. That's a lie from hell. I tell you something. We're traveling the other day. And I said to my Isha, and she had forgotten because you don't celebrate things like that. I say to her, I counted the days. I said, you know what? I believe it was yesterday. I said to her, I said, wow, our anniversary will be on Monday. She said, no, it's Sunday. I said, no. I said, 11, 12, no. Today's the 9th, yesterday, 10th. I said, it would be on the 13th. She said, oh. I said, isn't that a blessing? On my anniversary, I'll be holding wood to make you famous a day and all that stay warm. I'd rather hold the wood than go to Quincy's. I'd rather hold wood and work than go to Jack in the Box. And she'll be in the kitchen somewhere. How about that? We're full of our evilness. That's highly esteemed in the world, isn't it? Then it's an abomination unto Yah. Anything that the world esteems highly, they go out of their way for you. No, you shouldn't do it. I don't care what it is. That which is highly esteemed in the world is an abomination unto God. I don't care if it's your birthday. I don't care if it's Mother's Day. Everybody celebrates all the Baptist churches and all that. I don't care if it's Christmas. They all celebrate Christmas. I don't care if it's Father's Day. They all celebrate that. And that's what they call fathers, drunkards and liars and whoremongers that come to church once a year and put on their two-piece suit and think they're Philly fly. These are evil, damnable dogs. And I don't back down from nobody. They're evil. They're sadistic. If anything the young men will learn from me is how to be a man. Well, I know they're going to have their fathers. But I don't shrink that responsibility. And the young daughters will understand the beauty of a man when they're around proper people. That's a fact. Hallelujah. That way he says, with my whole life, Psalms 119:10, with my whole life, I have sought you. Well, I've fallen on that one. Have you with your whole heart sought him? That we said, with my whole heart, whole all, I have sought after you, I have sought you. He used the word here, let me not wander. Let me not be a deceiver. This is the word SHABBAT. SHABBAT. He said, let me not be a deceiver far from your mitzvot. Don't let me deceive myself. And I think that I'm right. That is what the word, that is where the compositions of the word SHABBAT, to deceive. That you know when you wander away from the Torah of Yah, then you become lifeless. You're subject to every kind of lie and every kind of twisted thing, are you not? Yeah. When your mind does not maintain or retain the truth of Yah, you will do any damn thing, would you not? True. You will lie, you will cheat, you will be a swindler, you will be a whisperer, you will do all of that, right? And so Yaakov, he wandered away. And so did Abraham. Yah had his hands on Yaakov, and because of that, when he wrestled with the Melech, he says he changed his name to Yaakov, which means that thou hast prevailed. Through all of your sin, your corruption, your deception, your flattering lies, I don't know why we think that he, Yaakov, was any better than Esau. All of us have sinned and come short of his honor and his expectation. We are flat out fools to think that I'm better. You are a silly little boy. You're a stupid woman to think that. The sins, I'm talking about the you about him, those are our sins. This is how stupid we are. Feed me. The truth, Yah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. That we says, oh, let me not shara. I don't want to commit sin. I don't want to be ignorant. I don't want to do it inadvertently. That people, well, I just didn't know, I forgot. You're doing things and you're sitting and you know you're going against the Torah. You know it's wrong. You know it's wrong to whisper and you do it anyway. You're a violent damn devil. Yaakov knew that was wrong what he was doing. Yah doesn't work in no evil plan like that young lad that writes the book last week to me. Put up a website and teach the people. Because you're not going to teach me. He didn't have to go that way. Yah had it all planned, all in control. And Yah wanted to show, Yah allowed that he suffered things. He suffered a lot of things. He suffered us a divorce. He suffered us to remarry. That wasn't his will. But he suffered that. Because we were not nurtured right. We were brought up in ignorance and we weren't learned. I've done the things that I've done because I was ignorant. My forefathers didn't teach me. He suffered that. That wasn't his heart to do that. That wasn't his heart for Yaakov to do that. And so don't tell me that Yah contemplated that kind of birthright extraction by such thievery and lying. You are a flat-out liar. As high as the heavens above the earth, so are the ways of man from Yah's way. That's not Yah's way. Yah had a way that was perfect. Yah had a way that was perfect. He would have put the birthright in the rightful hand. Can I move a little farther? Hallelujah. I don't want to move that far. Turn quickly to the book of Acts. Acts. I gotta move. Acts. Acts 17:30. You can say, well, I didn't know. And we won't wait. I didn't know. This is what Yah tells us here. It says we're dealing with that same word, deceived. It tells us this. Acts 17:30. And the time of this ignorance. We're all ignorant. Yeah. We're all ignorant. Yeah. We're not savage. I don't want to be stupid, but because he calls us stupidly ignorant. He says, YHWH, he winked. That doesn't mean he walk around winking his eye. That simply implies that Yah overlooked. He didn't really charge us. He didn't even attend to it. He winked at what? What did he wink at? He winked at our ignorance and our wickedness. Our ignorance. But now he commands us all, everywhere, to do what? To repent. So you can't say that I'm ignorant of sin. I'm a deceiver. I'm just ignorant of SHABBAT. I'm just ignorant. No, you can't say it. You can't say that. And you know you're doing wrong. At one time he winked at our ignorance. He overlooked our ignorance. But now he tells you, you know you're wrong, repent. And repentance is a transformation. It is a change that everybody sees it. It's a damn shame that the people of Yah, that someone goes away, they were corrupt, they were rotten to the core. And that one they haven't seen in 15 years. And he comes back, she comes home, her face looks different. Her body looks different. She's clean looking. She's got an esprit that they say, you have changed so much. And yet with the people of Yah, you are so evil, so wicked, so corrupt, just like Yaakov looked at Esau. We can't tell. I can tell when somebody's changed. You ought to be able to look at them and know that they're transformation. The world can. Oh, she's not the same that she was. And that doesn't mean the one knows Yah. He's a changed man. You can see he doesn't even look like he looked. I've heard the old people say that. That boy's been gone 18 years. And look at him. Fine man now. You still drink, boy? No, ma'am, I don't. No, ma'am, I stopped that many, many years ago. We're not talking about Yah. I'm talking about just in the physicality sense. That they could see. Boy, that were always telling and blaming someone else. He would say, Mama, there's a transformation. She could see it. Change your whole aspects about him. She'd look at him and say, oh, my baby. She'd look at that daughter and say, man, you are so beautiful, you know. You don't dress like you used to. She's not talking about Yah. And yet we can't see the change in one another. You don't have no repentance. Arrogant beast. Stinking child of hell. We don't have no repentance. He winked at us. Now he calls all us to change. YHWH. Turn around from your wicked ways. Go my way. Go my way. And yet we will accredit the most wicked ones with so sweet and so nice. They're not sweet and nice. You're not sweet and nice. We're just as evil as they come. If it had not been for Yeshua on my side, we can rest in his truth. I'm not here to sedate you with lies. I'm not here to make you feel, quote, good about yourself at all, unquote. I'm not here for that. You're in the wrong place if you're looking for that. I'm here to tell you of his style, his excellence, what he wants, and what he expects. And if you don't want that, you're in the wrong place. I don't care who you is. Fact of the matter. Hallelujah. Can I proceed a little further? Yes. This is what Yah does in Tehillim. Tehillim 119:21. Quickly. Psalms 119:21 says, this is Yah's propensity. Did not Yaakov say to Yahweh, oh my father, it may seem to him I'm a deceiver? Yeah. Now see, if this was the will of Yah, if he was doing the will of Yah in his action, Look what that read says in Tehillim 119:21. It says, look at this. You have rebuked the proud that are cursed. Anytime you are so cynical and so juvenile, you're proud of you, and you walk in the arrogance of your walk and you're strolling away, you think you got something and you're so grandizing. Yah rebukes the proud because they're cursed. And your nose, you turn it up. He rebuked them. I'm strong, and you're not strong. You're going to die just like the weakest of us. Comma. This is what he says now. Which do err, SHABBAT. You deceive your own self and deceive who do err from your commandments. We err from the commandments of Yah. So for man, if Yah rebukes the proud and he curses those which err, do you not know that he could not be complicit with what Yaakov was doing? He is not complicit with that. He just saw his ignorance. He said, Abraham, you trusted me because when you were ready to offer up your son, man, you just believe me. And you go and tell this boy something that his mama to tell him, come on, Abraham. But I have elected you. I'm not going to concur with your sin, but what you were sowing is coming back. Yes, mom. We not deceive you, not mom. Whatsoever man soweth, it came back on Yaakov and it's still coming back. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. So how could Yah be complicit to what this man was doing? This is the man that Abraham said that I believe that Yah is going to bless my seed in him. The blessing was in Esau. And Yah is too smart not to know how to take care of Esau. You think he put that old man on the bed of affliction not knowing that he was ready to die? Knowing that the contingency of his plan didn't work on what Yaakov was doing? Don't you know he did know that? Don't you know before they did that, it was already in the annals of his book? It is just downright crazy of us to think. Well, I found out who I is. You are dirty, wicked sinner. You're a dirty, wicked Hebrew Israelite. How about that? My culture, your culture, that you have been cultivating about. That's all culture is. It is the form of cultivation that whereby one is groomed in that. It has been one of great wickedness and evilness, all right? So you have nothing to boast in, fool. Hallelujah. Nothing to boast in. There's one more I want to deliver on this YHWH, and I want to go a little further. It says here in Tehillim 119 and 118, Tehillim 119, 118. He's talking about Yah here. You have trodden down all them that err, SHABBAT, that think they're slick. The word err here is SHABBAT. It is the same word as a deceiver. It is the same word in its format. Yah wanted to express that what Yaakov was doing in a terminology that was greater than SHABBAT. It's still the same, but the definitive, Yah wanted us to find what this word was utilized to understand the depth of this and the egregious activities of it. He only made mention of it in those places, no other place. But then he showed us the very rudiment of SHABBAT, the deceptive. You're going to always err. You're going to always do wrong. You're going to always err from the way that is right, from the statutes of Yah. Look what he says here. For their tumah, their treachery of fraud, for their deceit, it is a lie. It is the sheker. I ask you a question. And ask us all the question. Did Yaakov lie? Yes. Did he lie to his father? Yes. Did he lie to his daddy? Yes. Sure, he lied. Was Hashatan a liar? Yes. Was he a thief? Yes. From the beginning? Yes. Why? Because he did not abide in truth. And we are the same thieves and liars when truth doesn't abide in us. God doesn't intend for us to wake up in the morning and continue in our own egregious wicked ways. He intends for us to hear the word of his truth, and that it convinces us, man, you brought me through this night. And I went to bed and my mind wasn't even on you, y'all. And then we can be appreciative. You get up and act like a damn fool the rest of the day. That's not, y'all. He cuss. Oh, you people. I say this all the time. People will say because I use the word damn. That's really all I use. That I cuss. And they let their damnable children listen to lies, calling the women I know, but I'm not going to use it. The B word, the hoe, the slut. They let their children listen to that. And when they're away from you, you don't know what they're listening to. All right? Don't be Miss Sanctimonious and think, oh, my grandboy would never use me. No, stop it. Oh, my babies are good. I'll stop the bull. I hear my mother and my aunt, boy, I can knock on wood. You're not like them. Well, you're going to break your finger because I'm worse than them. And I will look at how stupid they were, how gullible. We out here hanging and banging together. A cousin and I, that his cousin killed him, we hung together. He was a masterful pool player and gambler. Called me, come pick me up because I got money. He was a masterful player. And I'm glad I'm knock on wood, you not. Hell, I hang with him. You think I'm pristine and he's dirty? And his mama would say the same thing, I knock on wood. That is so stupid and asinine. They're doing good. I know because they're their own gods. Yes. And they have determined what is good in their own sight. And they have become gods to you, and you believe what they're doing. They're their own gods, so they can do no wrong. Hallelujah. They're evil devils. Yes. Without the covering of the name of Yeshua, you're a devil. Yes. Without that testimony, you're a damn double dog. I don't care who it is. My mama or your mama. It makes no difference. My son or your daughter. It makes no difference. Now you can classify them any way you want to, but they're still evil. Yes. And y'all not going to have no acceptance for yours. Nobody's going to have an acceptance for yours. Amen. This is how stupid. This is how we err. This is how we deceive ourselves from the Torah of Yah. I can knock on wood. I'm not knocking on nothing. I want y'all to knock on this wicked heart of mine to clean me up. We were no different. My cousin and I, he's dead. I'm still alive. We were the same age. I was no different than him. Just as dirty and wicked as he was. He's dead. Y'all kept me around. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We err. Why? Because for the deceit is falsehood. You deceive yourself with lies, with shekels and falsehood. There's none that is tough. So your grandbabies, your babies, your mama, your daddy, your cousins, your aunts, none of them are doing tough. They may be doing godlike. That's why you say they're doing good. But they're not doing righteous. They're not. Period. Isn't that something? We always compliment those. Oh, I haven't seen it like this in years. It's always raining, but that's all right. I'm not complaining. You're going to work well in the garden. You take care of them. Let me finish preaching. I want to show you something. What is so, you know what I mentioned of what a deceiver is thought of. But it is one that is a crook, a scam, and one that is full of fraud. Can I ask you a question? Be honest. Did he fraud his father? Did Yaakov? Don't be afraid to answer. Yes. Sure he did. Yes. He was a scammer. Yes. He acted with a fraudulent intent. Yes. Well, we're afraid to answer that. He was a fraud. Yes. Was he the one that had the birthright, or was it Esau? It was Esau. Was he not fraudulent in his approach to his father? Yes. Did he deceive his father? Yes. Did his mother help him do that? Yes. She did that. Lie to the man that brought you in the world. And come on, Rebecca, that was your man. How much did you love him? Did you love Esau, Yaakov, more you love your man. We don't realize how shallow we is. Yes, I said it that way. We don't realize how shallow we is. You can pretend all you want to. And pretend you're so damn kind and loving, and you know you ain't not kind, or you ain't not loving. It's almost like one loves to be around children, and they really don't give a damn about them. They just do it for fraudulent intent. My babies love me. They love running to me. They love coming to me. Why? Because I'm kind to them. I treat them without in love, but I would tell them, no, I'm not going to spank one of them. All I got to do is call Mama Daddy. That's all I got to do. And I don't let none of them get by with nothing. I don't care whose son, whose daughter it is. Well, I did. She had her behind her. She was. So I called over there and I said, what do you want? You want to doctor? Trying to make me jealous, son. But I ain't jealous. I ain't jealous one day. No, I ain't not. And she felt that big old chest, broad and strong as iron. Security, and she did it in comfort. She went to sleep. There's nothing like a man's chest. There's nothing like a man's chest. There's nothing like a daughter's chest. He should enjoy her chest. We are some stupid people. We don't even know how to talk in the intimacy with sons and daughters. To tell the daughters how to be intimate. What you learn in the world is not intimacy. The walk of a home. That's where you daughters keep yourself a husband. Teach you everything. That's right. That's right. I'm not ashamed to talk like that. I'm not afraid. It's purity. Still got a whole wood on Monday on my anniversary. My Evis bear have wood though. Stay warm. Hallelujah. She'll be the only one to get all squares. Everybody else gets squares and split, all right? She keeps them so neat on her porch and everything. She doesn't even want the brother to do that. They don't do it this year, old woman. I don't care how many you they all burn. That's all they gonna do. Your daughters can stack them. Hallelujah. Look at this quickly here. It says in Tehillim, Psalms 10. We're talking about the wicked now. Who defrauds? You tell me y'all had an act in the hand of what Yaakov did. Y'all had the plan laid out. But it was not through thievery and wickedness. Look what it says in Tehillim 10:7. His mouth, he's talking about the wicked, is full of cursing. Wherever we cursing, where do you find the word cussing in our linguistics? And for his mouth, this is the wicked now. His mouth is full of cussing, cursing. Then Yaakov, did he not say, Rivika said, let the curse be on me? Did he not realize that he was bringing a killah upon him? His mouth was full of killah. It's full of deceit, full of shagar, of deceit, of thievery, and not only that, and tuk. It's full of fraud, deception. You deal deceitfully. You rob and you steal. You oppress. That's what the wicked's mouth is full of. Only his tongue is mischief. Did Yaakov commit iniquity? Full of lies. His heart was removed from the promise of Yah. He wasn't even ready for it. He wasn't even ready for it. That's why he ran like a buzzard. Yah would have sent him forth and sent Esau forth as well. Yah had it all planned out. Then he saw the mastery of that wicked, deceitful mind. He said, I'm going to let you all handle it. And he suffered the thing. Just like he suffered with us every day, he suffered you to sin. and to be cold and to be nasty and to be wicked. He suffered that, but that's not his will. He suffered you to do that. That you will see his kindness and his great tenderness, and that you will repent. We hear the truth. It's correction. We don't harden our hearts. Down here in Corinthians, 1 Corinthians, we're dealing with this defrauding or cheating or thievery. 1 Corinthians 6:8. Nay, 1 Corinthians 6:8. Nay, you do wrong. Yeah. We do wrong, don't we? Yeah. I know I do. And look at the wrong we do. Did Yaakov do wrong? Yeah. I'm bringing this down to us, YisraYah'ale. Yeah. You've heard it in so many fairy tales and fables. It doesn't even make sense. This is us here. Yeah. Did Yaakov defraud? Yeah. Yah says, YHWH, you do wrong. If there's any man guilty, that is me. And you defraud, you cheat, even your YisraYah'ale Achim. You steal, you rob from your daughters, your sisters, your children of YisraYah'ale, and you steal and you rob from the men, the YisraYah'ale. This is what we do. Was not Esau's brother, or Yaakov's brother. He stole from him. He lied to him. He cheated. And that's what we do to each other. It's a shame. It's a shame. You think that Yah works in that? If Yah works that for that crookedness and that wickedness of Yaakov, then there's evil in him. And there's none in Yah. No. None. It was a combination of Rebekah's evil mind and Abraham. To think that Abraham was just as pristine as snow, that's crazy. We can see what he did. Come on, don't be crazy. These folks out here, my culture, my people, they don't give a damn about each other. You can get them together collectively. They see each other once a week. You think they will live like this? There are not many people who will live like this. No. Because we're selfish, we're greedy, and we don't give a damn about nobody. That's why I don't want this so cramped up in it. Hell, there folks live in rat holes in the city. Cramped up, can't go hot in their house. Can't afford no damn air conditioning. Come on, there's more folks like that than those that have air conditioning. The stupid we is. Have nothing in a rat hole. All they hear, hey, hey. I was telling Akeem, I met a man when I went to buy the backhoe when we went to get that. He said to me, man, look, I had to get out of Detroit. We bought that backhoe, nearly about 18 years ago. How old? About that old. Okay, we'll go that far. He said one day, he said my babies knew how. They heard that. They just knew how to jump under the bed. You got to sleep with bars on your window. There's no comfort there. Everything, da, 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 da. You may hear something go, da, 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 da. And then they boom, 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 boom. He said, all day. People raising hell. And you can't even sleep. He said, one day I loaded my family up, and I said, we're leaving. Boy, I said, where are we going? He said, I don't know. He left. He was a hellacious diesel mechanic, too. He settled in a little town called Johnson, Tennessee. There ain't no people look like me up in there. Oh, quit. Stop it. The white boys liked him up there because he was a hellacious mechanic. He was. I like the fella. And he said, you know what? He said, it was insane. When I come here, I'm hearing all this noise at night. I'm like, he said, scared me. He hears the frog. He is cricket. Like, what in the world? And that's insane. You live in a jungle like that, you don't even know what the sound of a frog is like or a cricket. He said it was crazy. He said, but once I realized I got settled, he said, oh man, this don't even add life to me, living in a place like this. It's so, he said, I love it. He said, I ain't going nowhere. I don't even go back up there. He didn't even know what a frog sounded like.
say my babies instinctively knew what to do. That's sad, and you know that's sad. Fall on the floor and roll under the bed. That's crazy. I ain't living like that. I live out in the woods somewhere. I'm not going to live like that. And that's living. I'd rather live like this. In the country. He would say, it's hot in this bed, mother. That's why you get cool in the morning. Don't worry about it. I'd rather be healthy. I can work hard. Yeah. I like that. I like that. I'm not going to live like that. Listen to this. He said that how that we have defrauded each other. Yes. That was his brother. He defrauded him, didn't he? Yes. Moving quickly because I want to finish. All right. If I don't finish all of this, I want to conclude at a certain point. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 13. Leviticus 19, verse 14. He's talking about this Oshach. And this when you Oshach, that's what he did to his brother. It was an Oshach. He defrauded him. He deceived him. He lied to him. He stole from him. Leviticus 19:13. You shall not defraud your neighbor. You shall not steal. You shall not Oshach. You shall not exploit. It's almost known that someone will go out of their way for you and you exploit them to do it. You know they'll do it, so you exploit them. You know someone will show you favor, so you exploit them. So you tell them a sob story and you exploit them, and that's evil. That is one of the most sadistic evil minds there is. Not only did Yaakov exploit Rebekah, but she exploited him. Yeah. Oh, you're so pretty. The book doesn't tell everything she said. You are sweet. Oh, I know your daddy loves you. Oh, he loves you so much. I know what he wants. We have talked. He says your neighbor. You don't defraud your neighbor. Neither rob him. That's what he did. He robbed him. He defrauded him. He robbed him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with you all night until the morning. You give what is rightfully to that man. He has worked. You don't keep his money and draw interest tonight. You draw usury, and then you make money off his money. Collectively, I don't pay no bill but when it's due that day. And the reason I do that because they're not going to use our money. That's the way I do it. Well, I get paid a weekend. No, no, sir. Yes, sir, that's wrong. You don't defraud. His brother had more than him in mind. Esau, he was a tough cat, but he loved his brother. The Torah shows us when he saw he drew on his neck and he cried and he kissed him. This is the stupidity of this world. That's a fact. He killed him. My natural cousin that killed his brother, he would tell me, I love my brother. Of course, sure he did. He was just a foolish boy. Thessalonica, quickly, 1 Thessalonians. 1 Thessalonica, chapter 4, verse 6. That no man go beyond and defraud his brother in any manner. That was his brother, wasn't he? Yes. Did he defraud him? Yes. Did he lie to him? Yes. Did he shuck? Did he steal from him? Yes. To defraud is to be manipulative. To steal, to take from. It's not the gift to, it's to take from. He said, you don't defraud your brother in any manner. You don't defraud them. You don't defraud them what you're supposed to do and how you're doing. You're dishonest. You're not faithful. He said, because Yah is the avenger of all such. I don't care who you are. He's going to avenge you. And we have forewarned you, and we do testify. He warns you today. He forewarns us. Don't do that. You don't defraud. You don't lie. You don't lie against someone. You don't say someone did you wrong when they didn't. You don't put something on someone that's wrong. You don't do that. You don't do that. It's evil. It's wrong. It's sadistic. It's a devilish mind. You don't do that, nation. Fact of the matter, you don't go and defraud. If someone did you wrong, just suffer with it. You bless them. That's right. Like someone is doing us wrong. There ain't nobody to do me wrong. When he came in on Thursday, we were sitting there. We always talk a little bit. Shit there, and he ain't going on there unless he give me that bad grip. And I'm going to reciprocate that. You better put it on me right, baby. That's right. And always I appreciate you now. No, man, appreciate me. I appreciate what you do for us. Yeah, true. appreciate what you do for us. Out here 4 in the morning. You wives that have husbands, all of you basically have husbands here. Don't worry. You should always bless his heart that to strengthen him to do the things. To love YisraYah'ale. There should never be an accusation or an assault on any damn one. You suffer the thing. I don't care what it is. And you ain't nobody here. My wife ain't suffering nothing because if it was, she would run home every day and tell me. She's not telling me a damn thing. That's a fact. It's a fact. You make sure you embolden your mind with strength. Whatever he does, you know it speaks of him. Come on, we're econ. You're the econ. You're econ. You're econ. You're econ. You're one. You're one. As the world would say, that's my better half. She's the best of both halves. Don't raise hell with me. She don't lie on the sisters. She doesn't run me every day, tell me something once a month, once a week. That's a fact. I'll be lying if I said she did that. Don't do that. Because if you did, I'll rebuke her. You're going to let her tell you. You set her down. And you let her know she doesn't want me involved. Period. It is the truth. You're the second oldest mother among us to live here. Come on. Hell, she's been married more years than most of you all our age. 38, 40, come on. She has no rite of passage. That's stupid. She know more about marriage than all of you here. The married yesterday. She knows how to treat a man. Come on, I feel nice. I feel strong. Tell me she can't teach you that. She can't. She can't do it. I would be lying if I said that. She has treated me wrong. I won't be lying. As old folks say, she's been tough. Man. That's why if she goes before me, I don't want to live. I'll give up to live. I'll be honest with you. Some of you all think, oh man, there's one thing about love, that Yahshua, he gave up the kingdom, the heavens. And he came down to give up his life for me. All right? That's me. I don't want to live. That's what love got to do with it. I don't want to. That's me. You on your own. But that's me. That's my fidelity and my love. I would not want another wife. I would marry another wife. Let me start playing chess with him. She's not going anywhere. Because ours ain't going nowhere. You say that. Ours ain't going nowhere no time soon. But I'm saying that my infidelity and my love for her, I'm going to talk like this. I would not want to live. Because I could never develop this with someone else at my age. I'll be all right. I will. I'll be all right. That's a fact. I will not change anything in the house. I'll just be there. She reminded me, she came over the other night and she inspected everything. This is going to be my house. She can get her husband. Poppy gone. I said, I'm not going nowhere right now, little baby girl. Now. I'm going to change this. I'm going to put you girls, you always stay back here. And then she says that the gate is mine too. And she says, no, ma'am, the gate is going to belong to me. I just let him battle. I'm going to change this on you girls. I'm going to bring all the girls. They're going to sit back in. I'm going to change this. And I haven't even clocked out yet. I'm telling you. She's changing everything. She just busted the ass. I'm going to change this. Nothing. I'm going to change this. I'm going to fix that room up back there. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And oh, by the way, the gala is mine. Ouch. I wouldn't throw away one clothing of hers. I wouldn't leave it like it is. Because I ain't married nobody. I ain't married nobody. I don't have no strong will, but I have enough strength. I can maintain. You understand? I ain't married no woman. Fact of the matter. I ain't married nobody. I've married this one and that's it. Nobody else. I've been crazy. I think about the beautiful memories. The talk, friendship, the fun-ship. I'm not going to sleep with you. We get out. And then she pushed me out the bed. That's all right. Always rewards. Hallelujah. I want to move on quickly here. I will, my friend. All of this is integrated into. If I don't know how to love her and care for her, how can I care for Yah's people? If I treat her like a dog, how can I care for Yah's people? And if she treated me with all kind of disregard and respect, how could I tell you the truth? Because I'm always got to defend her. I defend no one. I'm set for one thing, that's the defense of truth. I live truth. And my house, truth is in my house. There's no hypocrisy, no lies and no falsehood, no thievery and no stealing. Ain't in my house. Ain't not going to be. Period. Quickly. We don't defraud each other. Why? Because there's a judgment of Yah that's coming. Yaakov, James, chapter 5, verse 4. Look at this, James 5:4. Behold the wages of the labor who have reaped down your field, which you have kept back by fraud. To keep back something that is by fraud, it is a robbery, it is a thievery. You have stolen from them, you have kept back by fraud, it cries. And the cry of them have reaped, are entered into the ears of the SHABBAT. Yes, I hear that cry. You have stolen from them, instead of paying her $12 an hour, you pay her $6. That's a thief. That's a dirty dog. She's faithful, she's honorable. She got 4 babies, and she makes sure they're up early, and she got somewhere she take them, and she comes to work. She's never late. She never misses a day. And you have not raised her properly and done right by her. She hasn't complained because she's very thankful that she has enough just to feed her babies. And she's striving to detach herself from all kinds of social things so she can walk right. The young ones I've heard from in the past, with babies in the large cities, they don't know how to get out. And they have kept themselves. No man sleeping in their home, not moving away from Yah, nobody. Nobody. There are women like that. There are daughters like that. There are sons out there that are honest and honorable and faithful. And they love Yah. There's nothing. You can find a hole in any of these Yahweh assemblies, Hebrew Israelite groups. The women dress like slutty hoes. They advertise everything they got, from their titties to their symmetry of their most private utility. With their blue jeans on and their stretch pants on. They want the man to see. That's evil beyond evil. They dress like slutty hoes. They dress like slutty hoes. They cut the sleeves up. They think they're big flabby arms, and you got to stop that. Stop that silly mess. Not my arms. Come on now. I'm a man. But I'm not going out like that. I'm a man. And my arms do not look like that. Flabby with that mess on it. Everybody. I saw a woman yesterday when we went out with the Charlotte to get the thing for the mill today and next week. And I just looked at them. And she was with me. This woman, you can see the stretch marks of probably 4 or 5 years she's had. And so when women see me, they think that he's an attractive man. Not all of them. But when they're in their 40s and 50s, they do. I don't boast in that, because nothing impressed me like that. And they both walking together. This woman, you can see her bra was black. She has on a shirt cut here. Her belly is so sloppy and nasty. And I'm looking at her just like this. I'm looking at her eyes. I want you to see me come. You ought to have some shame that you would dress yourself like that. And then when she saw me looking at her, she couldn't look no more. It's amazing how their attention has changed. They look straight ahead. That's a sign of fear. They fear him. Because there's something about that man. And he doesn't look like the rest of them. No. It has nothing to being handsome or nothing like that. That has nothing to do with it. That's not what I'm saying. This woman, you can see the stretch marks in her belly. I'm like, you come. I'm looking at her just like this. And I'm looking at her face. You nasty looking heifer. Your belly looks like a hog's belly. You are just like that. Ours ain't taking nothing back. She looked a mess. And so when they see a man, they get intimidated. She knew they both were intimidated. The other one, she was fat and slim. You could tell she thought she was everything that is beautiful, but she wasn't beautiful. She wasn't attractive. And if I was a man looking for a wife, I wouldn't look for that. I wouldn't look for that. I wouldn't look for nothing like that. You couldn't even talk to me. You better know. I know I would not want you. That's the fact of the matter. So they're young daughters that are walking right. And these fools are messing their minds up. Tell them you need a husband. And pairing her with some dog that can't even take it, what he called two wives. Your daughters don't give you something that's stupidity. That's not the blessing of Yah. Yah did not, Yah suffered that. You can find nowhere in Torah where those that were common like me had more than 2 or 3 wives. Had 2 or 3 wives. Because he barely could afford the dowry for one. And those that are in great power and great strength, kings and rulers. That has always been the norm of the world. That's how China grew the way it did. There were men in China that would have 2,000 or 3,000 wives. That's a fact. That's a fact. And they acquired vast amount of land, and they had the wife and the children to work the land. One man, 2,000, because they were peasantry, they were poor, they were already in poverty, had nothing. That's the history of this world. So it's stupid. Bishop Dow. Find that in my teaching today. I said that there are 6 times. Let me read this. Because I want us to understand, if I don't get anything but this. Why did Esau sell his birthright? Why was he so tired? You know? Well, you don't know, but I'll teach you. Why was he so tired that he was near death? These that came around here hunt. They hunt with bows and arrows. They go set up in a nice lounging chair. Did he run down the deer? We've heard all kinds of stories happen. I would tell you why he was, the book tells me. I would tell you why he was in such despair and full of death. And if any brother had any kind of compassion, a man that is so distraught, so wrapped up, he couldn't even move, and then you defraud him. He was a thief, young man. He stole his brother's birthright. He did. Yah could have extracted Esau, brought death on him, and the right would have gone to Yaakov. Yah doesn't work in defrauding and lying and thuggery and deception. He doesn't work that way, period. That was not Yah's plan. That was not Yah's plan. No more than the brothers of Yosef to sell him into slavery. It's because of their wickedness, their evil, the defiance of Yah. He said, I'll show you something. Love is more than just, I say, I love you. Now, I want to read us something, all right? Yeah. Now, let me read this now. And there, you know, I didn't, there are things here. Let me, why was Esau So tired. Who knows? I'll tell you, don't answer me. I don't want you to answer me. I do that to make you think. And these smart ones will tell you, that's why that was Yah's plan. They're liars. You tell me Yah works in that kind of evil to pronounce him, and that kind of deception and lies? That's a lie. He had that thing planned before there was an Esau, before there was a Tifra. He had it all laid out. Let me show some. Go to the book of Yeshua. I want to show you something in the writing here. I want to show you why Esau was so hungry and so tired. He was a bad boy. That's why when Abraham saw him say, I tell you, this boy right here, he'll kill every king on the earth. And we got to be blessing the people. Well, let me show you why he was in the condition he was in. It says here in Yeshua chapter 27, I want to read this. It's about 12 verses. Well, let me begin here, all right? I want to conclude with this, if in nothing else, and then I'll retract it, cover some more things. It says in verse 1, and Esau at the time, this was after the death of Abraham, he frequently went into the field to hunt. And he went to hunt. He went to hunt. He always went to frequently to hunt. But there was one by the name of Nimrod. He was a Melech of Babel. The same at Amraphel also frequently went with his mighty men to hunt in the field, just like Esau. To walk about, and his men in the cool of the day, and all of a sudden Nimrod, he observed. His eyes were cast upon Esau. Nimrod, he observed Esau all the day long. All the day. That's what it means. He just watched him. He looked at him. He observed him. Like he was stalking deer. For a jealousy. The jealousy was formed in the love of Nimrod against Esau. All the days he was jealous. Esau was better than the king Nimrod. He was a bad boy. He was a bad boy. And on a certain day, Esau went into the field to hunt. That was a day that his daddy was going to bless him. And he went to the field to get venison. And he found Nimrod walking in the mitzvah, the wilderness, with two of his men. Two men. Two kids. Two men. It all represent these houses, the both. And all of his mighty men and his people were with him in the wilderness. He had an entourage. But when they saw Esau, they removed at a distance from him. And they went from him in a different direction for what? To hunt. And Esau, he hid himself. He concealed himself for Nimrod. And he lurked for him in the wilderness. He said, I got you, boy. You don't even smell me, but I smell you. I know where you is. And Nimrod and his men that were with him did not even know that he was casing them. They didn't know. And Nimrod and his men frequently walked about in the field at the cool of the day, and to know where his men were hunting in the field. He was a hunter. He was precise, just like Esau. And Nimrod and two of his men that were with him came to the place where they were. When all of a sudden the bad boy, Esau, startled suddenly from his lurking place. It's almost like the big male lion at 600 pounds when he startles the wildebeest. And he drew out his kereth, his sword, and he hastened, and he ran to Nimrod, and he cut off his head. He cut his head off. And Esau, he fought a desperate fight with the two men. Isn't Yah, that's a desperate fight with us? But YHWH and YisraYah'ale, he fought two men. That's a bad boy with a sword now. There were with Nimrod. And when they called out to him, Esau turned to them and he smote them to death with his sword. Verse 9. And all the mighty men of Nimrod who had left him to go into the wilderness, they heard the cry from a distance. And they knew the voice of those two men. And they ran to know the cause of it. And when they found their king and two men that were with him lying dead in the wilderness, and when Esau saw the mighty men of Nimrod coming at a distance, he fled. He ran. He was in despair. And they thereby an escape. And Esau, he took the most valuable string, the ararat, of the garment of Nimrod, which Nimrod's father had begotten Nimrod, and which Nimrod prevailed over the whole land. He said that I'm the mighty one. See, Abraham saw that in Esau. He was a bad boy. He was a bad boy, and he knew that the begetting of that garment, that everyone is going to fall under subjection unto him. He destroyed Nimrod, and he took the insignia of power, and that was the garment bestowed upon him. We have a garment bestowed upon us of power. It is the righteousness. It is the Sadiq garment of YHWH HaMashiach. And he ran and concealed them in the house. Verse 11. And Esau took those garments and ran into the city on the account of Nimrod's men. And he came to his father's house. Yitzhak. He was weary and exhausted. Hell, he knew he was going to die if they caught him. He knew that. Just give me strength to fight. I'd rather die in the fight than to lay down like a coward. He was weary. He was weary. And he was ready. He had given up any kind of tikva to live. He was ready to die. How? Through grief. When he had approached, he was ready to die because he was so overtaken, so overwhelmed. His strength and the magnitude of his manhood was gone. And when he approached his brother Yaakov, and he said before him, what a brother. Your brother is hungry. Your brother, if your brother's hungry, wouldn't you not feed him? Yeah. This is how YisraYah'ale is. And this is how YHWH. They're both wicked. They're both insensitive in care. That's why we don't give a damn about each other. Yeah. That's what happened. And he said to his brother Yaakov, behold, I shall die. He knew he was going to die because they were on his trail. This day, I'm going to die. And therefore, wherefore, then do I want this birthright. I'm going to die. You can have it. See, that was the form of Yah's transformation of the matter. Yeah. The only thing he had to do was die. We're ignorant people. He said, it means nothing to me. I have no lineage to pass it on to. And Yaakov acted wisely with Esau in this matter. And Esau sold his birthright to Yaakov, for it was so brought about by Yah. He didn't have to lie. He didn't have to steal, because Yah could have cut him off at any time, and the birthright would have been Yaakov. This was Yah's way. He sent this man out to fight against the most prominent, powerful man there was. he had no tikva. He was going to die. Him dying, the birthright would have fell to him anyway. He didn't have to deceive and lie. He didn't have to do that. That is right, my friend. It is the truth. The birthright would have fell to him in his manipulative ways. So don't tell me that Yah has a hand in the activities of evil for one to deceive and to lie and to steal and to defraud. That's why I read certain verses to show you, Yah doesn't have no part in no mess like that. It just said that he brought it to pass. He just brought it to pass. Identify that word on key 3. He meant brought. He brought that thing to pass. Let me find that. These are ignorant men trying to teach us things. And they don't know. And they don't understand the ways of Yah. Don't listen to these fools, all right? They're foolish. And Yah brought it to pass. So Yah would have brought that to pass, the birthright, because he loved Abraham. He had promised. Abraham obeyed him just by the hearing of his voice. You understand, nation? For Yah had brought it to pass. Now what we read in Bereshit, Genesis chapter 25. I want to read this quickly. Genesis 25. This is how we've been taught that he just despises birthright. But let's see what the Torah says. And he despised it because he knew he was going to die. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Verse 29. And Jacob saw pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was about to die. He was faint. He had no strength in him. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray you, with that same red pottage. He said, I'm sick, I'm faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. Verse 31, and Jacob said, sell me this day your birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point of death. Isn't that what YHWH said? Yes. He knew he was dying because those boys of Nimrod was as bad as him. They were hunters, and they could smell him out. And what profit shall the birthright do to me? And Jacob said, this is how it was sealed. Swear to me this day. That's all it was. Even his word was still righteous. And he swore him. And he sold the birthright. Was there some kind of money exchange? The only way it was exchanged by the words of his mouth. His oath. His oath. His oath. His word. A man's word is his bond. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of linen. And he did eat and drink, and he rose up and he went his way. Thus Esau despised his birth. He didn't understand the value of birthright. You wouldn't sell your birthright, would you? Would you sell your birthright? You would never despise your birthright, would you? You never sold your birthright, would you? Would you sell your birthright? And we all are so superficial with such liars. Oh no, I wouldn't. You sell it every day for lies, for folly, for deception, for your own corruption. You sell your damn birthright every day. We think highly of ourselves. I'm better. You're better than no one. You are stinking, dirty thing just like I am. And if you don't bathe in the water this morning, you will stink at the end of the day. I got up in the morning, I said to myself, well, whoa, what in the world is this? I didn't take a shower. Didn't wash into my hands. I went to work. Everybody around here knows me. I don't get that close to you, but you will smell it. I got up in the morning. This arm smelled well. But this one here, she was talking. I said to Emma, oh my. Oh, get out of here. I didn't say I stink. I said I'm stinking. Well, I'll be all right. I brush my teeth, wash my feet. That's it. Yeah, shit. I'm not taking no shower because I stink and I'm going to stink and change this shirt I'll change shirts 3 or 4 times in a day. And I went on to what? You that don't stink down there, you ain't doing nothing. All right. I'm as hygienic as any man. I'm clean with my body, every aspect, from my teeth to every aspect, my hair. I'm very conscious of that. Going to work in the morning, going to the greenhouse. I went in the other day, was 126 degrees. You think I'm worried about putting on deodorant, and I didn't wash that and put deodorant on. Yeah. I went on to work. And I worked that day. Then when I finished up that evening, around 7:30, I took a shower. 8 o'clock, it was warm, cool, take me back. We must be washed in the time of Yeshua. We must cleanse ourselves of all the filthiness of our flesh and our little heart. We sell our birthright, we despise it. We despise what Yeshua done for us. When Yah tells me to forgive him, and I hold that in my heart, when you know you're evil and you won't confess your faults and your sin, when you're so full of pride, well, he did wrong. These beasts have done no man wrong. You're not coming here to change anything, and you're not coming here to all. I don't care who you is. This was built in this order, and it has worked. How do I know it worked? Well, it's just a field bus here, that's all. It worked with Yeshua when he went to the stake, that was field. So it worked. You shed off all the weight. I'd rather be in my condition here than to be in their conditions out there. Do you hear me? I'd rather get up and try to grow something and try to get something in the ground like that and try to understand about growing than to be out there worried about what I'm buying, and just enough you don't know what you're buying. You don't know what you're eating. And if I want to say, let's butcher cow just for meat, nah, for all us to eat. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, I went out and bought some nice Black Angus biscuit. But she said, Papa, we haven't had biscuit in a long time. Well, we have some next week. You're right. And tomorrow I said, well, okay. Make sure we have I bought my baby some chicken nuggets. She said, which babies? I said, what do you mean? I'm talking about the little one. She said, they all eat chicken nuggets. And what they ain't going to eat? Well, enough for my young ones, my babies. And she said, which babies you talking about? You know, they all, okay, like chicken nuggets. I said, well, they going to eat that. We got some spices and mild this. And they just, you can cook some of that other stuff. But this is for my little ones. That's right. Don't worry about it. That's right. I'm encouraged. I'm going to stop there for today. I go on. Joe Wells going to say I'm hungry. Yeah, I got my little ones some nuggets. Some chicken nuggets. Got you older ones, some of the better stuff, all right? You'll like it. Better for you. Be encouraged, I am. May the blessings of Yah rest upon the nation. I do want to call Zakim to Messiah's name out, that we continue to pray for him. Micaiah, his family, Sophonia, and also Lester, there in Chicago, precious brother, all these years. And all you that I hope, Mariana, I haven't answered you if you're listening, but I will. And so, those that are in great agony of pain, we pray for them. I just want to, you know, Evangelist Hartsfield, he would always say to me, brother, when I go, when God takes me out of this world, I would like to just, you know, he'd lay me on my back for a week, and I'm ready to go. And so I can examine myself, make sure there's nothing corrupt in me. And I always held that saying, I don't want to lay on no bed and have to depend on someone. I know you always do. I know you always do. I don't want to put nobody on. I want to go on home. I want to just give up to live. There's nothing wrong with that. Did he give up his life? Yeah. He take it from him. He gave it up. And I'm not going to think any other way but that way. I want this old mother here when she's gone, her last journey. She'd go home one day and say, yeah, you've been so tough to me. And he said, okay, Mom, you're ready. She said, yes. And she just sit there and he just take care of her. I don't want to lay on her back for weeks and months. Bishop Bates, he got sick one day. 13 days later, he died. That's all right. Her mother, she didn't lay on her back. I want to give up. Give it up. The reason we want to give it up because we don't have no confidence in him. I'm going to rise again. I don't want to lay on my back. I don't want to lay like sardine to myself. He can't even defecate. That's not living. I don't want to lay on no bed and no pan. In my heart, I said to him yesterday, and I called him twice a day. I said, Zacchaeus, if we were close by, someone would come see you. Bring you some green juice. I said, just so far. 700 miles. This is a long way. You can go down there and turn around. I got that evening. I was worn to the fence. You made it through that crazy traffic in Atlanta. And Memphis is just as worse as Atlanta. It is. And as soon as I got there, I had a sandwich that she had prepared for me before we left. I ate that, and I went straight to the hospital. And at that time, everything was building up. And I sat there with him that day. And then when I got back home, I had a little something, the rest of that to eat. And I went on like a flash. And then the same thing for that next day. I was there, just waited till they got him all cleaned up and everything. And then I was there. Made sure that the nurses and all, and the physical therapist, and he said, I heard YisraYah'ale, and in that position, he couldn't eat, because there is no nutrient in the meal they give them. It's trash. Well, we could make him green juice and help him and clean him out. I went scouting that day to get someone to come. I didn't know. He's a big man, and it would have been difficult for me to move him. They have therapists that know how to position people to move them. And so when they called the therapist, he said, I'm on my lunch break. I ain't coming up there. I'm standing right there, the lady talking to me. So I'm very polite and kind with them. I said, ma'am, I don't want to interject myself in the protocol here, ma'am. But she said, that's all right, we'll do it, we'll get it. And so all of a sudden, about 15 minutes later, whatever, I saw this cool cat walking down the hall. That's what he was. And then when he saw me, he looked at me, he stopped. He did it. He said, how are you doing, Mom? I was coming out of the room. So he did put him on the pad. But he could not relieve himself. Laying like that all the time, he could not relieve himself. And so after about 30 minutes, I went back, and the man was cleaning him up, where he couldn't wipe his posterior, nothing. I don't want to live like that. You can. I don't. And we talk every day, twice a day, and he always closes with this. I appreciate you so much. You care for me so much. You're so nice, kind. And just a little each day, you can tell. He said, I said that to you before. You live where now? He said, I said, Zacchaeus, listen, we're both getting old, so we forget things. So what? I'm not offended, I'm not upset because you keep asking me the same things over and over again. It doesn't bother me. You're my friend. I called him yesterday, and he didn't answer his phone. So I left a message, but he doesn't know how to get to his messages. And I'm trying to I don't want to contact his son in a way that I'm trying to take jurisdiction of his father. But her brother told her, because he calls her every Thursday. It's about Thursday, Friday. He calls her every week. I haven't talked to him, man. I haven't talked to him about it. And he told her what kinds of things can be done. He said that people don't know, but this is what he can get. If he's in a position whereby someone is there, they will send a nurse in. He said, I have one to come to me for 10 years. Said all they do everything. Clean, they do everything. I just hate to see him with all these strangers in the hospital, how they treat him. You think those people... I'll never get this old white man down the road here. I used to buy. When I first came here, I didn't know a lot of people. He owned that, he ran the flea market down there on 9. He was in a wheelchair. And that's what made me, he changed my mind on something because he had a lot of those blankets like from the Olympics, all those wooden blankets I purchased from, we purchased. And so he had very nice mattress sets. I just didn't like buying used mattress for us. I would rather, mattress, you don't know, That's one thing I don't like. I don't even like sleeping in a hotel. He said, I want to ask you a question. Yes, sir. Because he would give me some of the best deals, I'm telling you. He said, you ever slept in a hotel? I said, yeah. You think you're the only one slept in that bed? I said, why are you going that way? He said, if you slept in a hotel, someone slept on the mattress, right? I said, stop that. How much you want for that set? And that's the only reason I stopped with. They would be nice, clean set. He said, I'll take care of what I need. But I never forgot one day I went, and he died owing me money because I put something in land with him. But come on, he gave me some. That was just a tip before he died. So many things he did for me. And I'll never forget, he was sick that day. He was sick. I mean, this man was sick. He was sick. I knew he was sick. I could feel his sickness. And he would call me preacher. He said, preacher, can I tell you something? He said, I was so sick in that hospital. I just wanted to die. 2 weeks later, he was dead. He said, I was so sick. He said, can I tell you something? He said, it's the truth. And he's a white man. He said they care more for a dog than they do humans. They will go out of their way for a dog and they will cry. He said, I laid up in there and there was no care. Nobody cared. So that's why you want to do, because one day someone may have to wipe your backside. You can be stupid all you want to, the ones you think will wipe it will not be the one that will wipe it. When my baby says, your children are not, he calls me and say, nobody, I want to talk to. I said, Zakim, I'll call him in the morning early, because I talk to him the reason why. And let him know what, they'll be there this evening because they're working. This one is doing that. I said, they'll be there. And I said, you have to understand there may be meetings and things like that. Those are the kinds of jobs they have. And then they just can't answer the phone anytime. But I said that they'll be there to work. But that hospital, do not care for him. I was in that day, the doctor walks in. He saw us, he spoke, and he says to him, I think his name was Michael. He said, my name is Dr. Michael, I'm your doctor. How do you feel? You all right? If this man stayed 30 seconds, I didn't stay but 10 minutes, and I know I stayed, that's. He walked out of there, didn't even have a stethoscope or nothing on. Didn't even touch him, didn't even get close enough to touch him. And I just looked at this piece, and you think I'd rather die in my bed, lie in my bed when my babies, and they just come to see me, Papa, how you feeling? Papa ready to go home. Than to lay in a place like that and die that way. I'm not going to die that way. I'm not going to die that way. That's me. You all can lay there and die. I'm not dying that way with nobody. They didn't even care for that man. I'm like, my heart was sad. I got that kind of emotion. That's me, all right. I got that kind of confidence and trust. So when it's time for me to go, take it. I said, be encouraged. Oh, you folks, come on, you don't get on silly. You're going to die, don't be silly. Wasn't that from the beginning? Yeah. Appointed every man that died, you're going to die silly. Hallelujah. Think you're not going to die, that's silly for you. I don't care how long you live. You live 70, so what, 80? That doesn't mean nothing. Yeah. So what? Live 90. Like that old woman said to me, I ain't old. I said, you're an old woman. You're as old as you think. I said, well, you tell me that 6-year-old child that thinks, I'm a man. He's a man. You should appreciate the years of your life and appreciate all that God has done. I didn't use that term. I said, you should appreciate the years of your life. They think you're not old. That's silly. I said, you did that silly. It's downright silly. It's immature. It's stupid. That's how I talked to this old woman. And she had been married. She and her husband had been married 63 years. That's how long they had been married. And so she didn't know who she messed with. She just saw me. She looks at me. All the white folks in lines, you know, the white woman. And she just walks over to me. How are you doing? I said, exceptionally fine, ma'am. How are you doing? I said, I'm doing well. Thank you kindly. That's how we're supposed to be. Thank you so much. Thank you. And she began to run her mouth. And then when she began to talk, I began to shut her down. I said, you're an elderly lady. You're an elderly woman, a mother. You ought to be thankful that you have lived this long. Well, I'd rather you call me elder. You're still an old woman. And I didn't even want to mess with her because that's so stupid. Not to think you're only old as you think. You old woman that think you got something that's fly and fine, you are a stupid old woman. I say to God, you old mothers that think you got something that someone wants, you are a stupid old woman. And you old man that think you're holding something, nothing but a bag of bones and wrinkles, you're stupid. Fine as wine, you silly. You wonder why our generation is the way it is. I want to be perceived as an old man, an elderly man. I want young men to know that. And they do know it. And they look at me and they watch me. And I don't care where I go. Because I don't act like the rest of them. I don't walk like them. I don't walk slick. I don't walk Philly fly. I walk like a man. And they're intimidated. They will get intimidated, believe me. And then I make them feel so much at ease. I gotta talk to them. And they appreciate that. All these young men, the services come in. They are those big fellas on Saturday. You know, when he came in, he slowed down, didn't he? He moved around, he slowed down because he said, yeah, they told me about you. I said, no, that's right. And we talked. In all of them. And I try to impart, I don't try to impart the things of Yah to them. I try to impart things that will, regardless, will help them in the events of life. That's what I do. I really do. And that's the way I am. I don't want to be cool. I don't want to be sloppy. I don't want to be up on things. I don't want to be that way. I want them to see me as a man. And when I began to talk with this male or female, I want the young women that I meet and see, I want them to see me as an elderly man that there's wisdom about him. And when I talk, then they will pay attention. And they do. When I talk, they listen. May the riches of Yahweh. Let's stand up. I am hungry. And turn toward YHWH, in all things we do are above with the excellence of your kindness, your faithfulness unto YisraYah'ale. We pray for the nation, your people scattered abroad, and those that are in pain in the throne. And Zakin Tamasian, bless him, I pray. His family is well, Yana. Akmika, his family. Axophonia, and him. We pray for Hope Mariana. And your nation scattered abroad, those that need your mapi, your healing. We pray for your healing power to manifest in a mighty way. We pray for the strength of our Geba warriors, the men, and the daughters of Zion. Help us to know our sins and our ways, that they have bewildered you. So bless us all, keep us, forgive us all of our iniquitous ways, that we may walk in the light of your Torah. We ask these simple blessings in Yahshua's name, and we pray by the strength of that revelation of power. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.